Hey Dad Gamers, welcome to the Dad Gamers Podcast. I'm your host Bob Rayhart, Flank on Xbox Live, if you want to follow me there, FLANKKE. We have quite a bit to talk about on this episode, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Xbox Live. Now, we've known Xbox Live to be the same service to provide you to be able to play online multiplayer, and it's been the same for 18 years, since 2002. So the fact they're now actually going to be changing the name from Xbox Live to Xbox Network, and they announced that they weren't doing it right away, so it hasn't happened yet. There's a lot of changes, it looks like, that are coming to the Xbox Live system, or the Xbox Network system, I should say. One of the cool advantages that Xbox is alpha testing, I believe, right now, is the multiplayer ability to play online without Xbox Live. So the kind of a free-to-play multiplayer, so that you can play with other dad gamers out there without having to have Xbox Live or the Xbox Live network. I don't know how that'll pan out. Like, what are you paying for at that point? You know, like, if you're still individually buying games on their marketplace for a price, then what does the Xbox Live Gold really offer? Because the other thing that they're testing, as far as I know, is also the ability to communicate, to like chat with other gamers. So if you're already being able to chat with other gamers and you're going to be able to play free-to-play games online, I guess the non-free-to-play games would be what you would be paying for. So games that you would buy, like Sea of Thieves or even Call of Duty, you would need to get the Xbox Live network or the Xbox network to play online. But the free-to-play games like Fortnite and those wouldn't cost you anything. So I don't know, it's been 20 years at least, or 18 years, or 19 almost now, with Xbox Live being called Xbox Live. So to see this change, let's only hope it can be for the better. But speaking of online services, let's move into the PlayStation area. So the PlayStation Online, they, on a constant basis, according to reports from The Verge, are showing a decline in memberships, or I don't know how you want to call it, subscriptions to their service. Now, if you dad gamers out there have both systems, the Xbox and the PlayStation, you'll know that playing on Xbox Live seems to be a little easier. There's a lot less downloads, there's a lot less lag, it's a little bit smoother network. The PlayStation does have a constant barrage of updates that seem to take up a lot of space, but their online service costs the same amount. I mean, it literally costs $59.99. Now, right now, they're running a deal, and I have found the deal. I have it. I'll have the link available in the description for this episode, so you want to check that out. It's a link that's supposed to give you a discount. Now, it's from CD Key, and they're secured, so you can purchase it directly from it. You'd be purchasing a digital code. It's supposed to give you the CD Key, I want to say, for like $30, so almost half price there. But check it out. I'll have the link available in this episode to get your PlayStation Online cheaper. I don't know if it's worth it, though. I mean, in my experience, I do have a PlayStation account, also have Flank, FLANKKE on there. You can follow me there. But I don't currently have a PlayStation system, so I'm never on there. And I don't know, I got frustrated with it for the longest time. So I always would just, by default, go to Xbox. And now that Xbox Gamers Game Pass allows you to play on the PC as well, again, there's so many more other systems. Speaking of other systems, the Nintendo, we talked about, I think, an episode or two ago, the Nintendo Switch Pro. Yeah, it looks like that's going to happen. So I think I can assure you there will be if you haven't bought a Nintendo Switch yet, just hold off. Just wait, because there's a better one coming. Another note, let's go back to Sony for a minute, their PlayStation Network. So for all you dad gamers out there that have or still have a PlayStation 3, a PSP, or even the PS Vita, if you are, for whatever reason, still playing those systems, the marketplace for those will be shutting down this summer. Unfortunately for the PlayStation 3 and the PSP, we're looking at a date of July 2nd being the last day that those marketplaces will be available. For the PS Vita, it'll go as far as August 27th. So this will mark the first marketplace shutdown for any game system after 2005. So, I mean, is it time? I mean, PlayStation 3. The PlayStation 5 is out now. I mean, you can't expect it to go on forever. I don't know how much bandwidth or storage capacity the PlayStation 3 would need for its marketplace, but I'm sure that just doing a constant barrage of updates would be the problem. And I can understand why Sony would want to shut it down. So if you have a PlayStation 3, a PSP, or a PS Vita, make sure you at least log in once sometime soon and get all the updates that you can if you plan to keep the system, so that you're still able to play it even after they shut that service down. Man, the PSP, I can remember that was some good times playing the PSP. There was I can't remember the name of the game, but there was a game on the PSP where you could jump from car to car as a cop. I was addicted to that game for the longest time. Okay, but speaking of mobile games, so Crash Bandicoot on the Run just released on your mobile game. So if you have your phone on you, clearly you do if you're hearing this podcast, you can download Crash Bandicoot on the Run right now. It is free, and you play it. I don't know, it's one of those, where you just basically, or the camera is behind Crash and runs through obstacles. So it's a good time killer if you're waiting for, to get the kids off the bus, or you are waiting for whatever reason at soccer practice or baseball or whatever, or something where you're not having to keep an eye on them and you're just waiting for them. These mobile games are ideal. There's another one coming out. It hasn't said they have a release date for it yet, but it's Rocket League Sideswipe, which is basically Rocket League, but the mobile phone. Everyone's kind of excited for this because Rocket League's a huge game, and it's so much fun to play. It's also a not very difficult game to play. I'm not trying to downplay it a little bit, but it's very simplistic. So I think the transfer to mobile, especially since it's going to use touch controls, will be fairly simple and a lot of fun. So I'm kind of super excited about Rocket League Sideswipe. Hopefully it'll be out this summer. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, the last mobile game that I have information on is done by Niantic. Now, Niantic is the same company that partnered with Nintendo to make Pokemon Go. And that Pokemon Go became a huge phenomenon. Trust me, if you're listening to this podcast, you know Pokemon Go. Now, Pokemon Go was so big for Nintendo that Nintendo decided to go back to Niantic and say, hey, we want you to make another AR game for mobile. Well, if you haven't heard yet, it is definitely happening. So Niantic is currently in development with Nintendo to make an AR Pikmin game for them. So that's right, you're going to get Pikmin AR. I don't know how that's going to work though, because the Pikmin, I guess you would just go around and the Pikmin would be, again, AR is augmented reality, so you would see Pikmin around you through the phone, and you'd be able to call a bunch of them to do something. I'm assuming they would have to have things that you would need to move or collect or whatever. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see how to incorporate Pikmin into the real world interactions or things like that through your phone. So yeah, there is an AR Pikmin game in the works by Niantic that's coming out. Again, it's supposed to be later this year. Let's hope that actually happens. But Nintendo's really good at saying, okay, we'll put it out, and then they're not going to give us a release date until the game is absolutely solid. They're usually not ones to push a game back way after we already expected at a certain time. So hopefully we'll see that one soon. Another thing is, speaking of Nintendo and of Mario Kart, and for you dad gamers out there that have the younger kids, for the dad gamers that have the younger children that don't play video games, or maybe a little too young to play video games, or just not 100% into it. One thing that actually came out earlier today, and today is Thursday. It came out earlier today, and it's leaked by Amazon by mistake, was Mario Kart Hot Wheels. Now, it's already been taken off of Amazon, so you cannot go on their website and order it. It's not even supposed to have been known about that Nintendo is coming out with a Hot Wheel line, which is Mario Kart based. Like, they came out, I have a picture, it'll be on our Instagram, Dad Gamers Podcast on Instagram, so check it out there. It'll be the Rainbow Road, like, track, so you'll be able to utilize Hot Wheel cars for. It looks pretty cool. I mean, even, as a dad, I would totally buy this, for my kids. If they were into Hot Wheels for anything, I would be like, okay, let's try, Mario. It comes with apparently Mario and Boo is the car, and the cars like Princess, Yoshi, all these other cars for Hot Wheels would have to be purchased separately. So there was no price yet, because it was supposed to be a pre-order, is how it was set up when it did leak. Again, I have a snapshot of it. I will be posting it, and we'll see. It's actually not due out until later this year. They didn't even mark it like I don't know if it's a summer release, or maybe, who knows, it could be even a Christmas item. That would be a haul of a wait for it, but again, we'll see. One more thing I got here. Let's see. Speaking of games and being a dad, there is a list I came across that is games this year that are turning 20 years old. Oh yeah, that's right, Dad Gamers. Are you ready to feel old? Are you ready to feel like your gaming world has passed you by? Or I don't even know what to say here. The games this year that are turning 20, I've got a complete list here. Some of them on there, I was like, there's no way. There's no way. But yeah, it's totally true. The first game, RuneScape, turns 20 this year. Unreal Tournament for the Dreamcast. Do you remember Dreamcast? Do you remember Sega's chance at coming back with a console after the Genesis? The Dreamcast? It was very interesting. I think one of the most popular games, just on a side note here, for Dreamcast was Crazy Taxi. That was anytime I think about Dreamcast, for whatever reason, Crazy Taxi is the only game that pops into my head. I'm sure they had, a bunch of other games, Knights and some other ones, but Crazy Taxi, anytime I ever played that game, it was always and only on the Dreamcast. But Unreal Tournament, also on the Dreamcast, turned 20 years old this year. Max Payne. Now, you remember Max Payne? They made a movie with Mark Wahlberg, and they had like Max Payne 1 and 2 and 3, and Max Payne was one of the great video games because they had the slow motion bullet time. It was one of the very first games to offer slow motion bullet time, and it was a game changer, so to speak. Other games replicated it too, but that game is the first one. The original Max Payne turns 20 this year. The next one is Grand Theft Auto 3. Yeah. Grand Theft Auto. Keep in mind, Grand Theft Auto. There's been a bunch of Grand Theft Auto games, but they're only on, Grand Theft Auto 5? So, Grand Theft Auto 3 was 20 years ago. They have basically drug Grand Theft Auto out, especially, let's be honest, especially Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 is going to actually release on the new consoles that are coming out as well. It released on Xbox 360, Xbox One, and now Xbox Series X. Rockstar is just dragging Grand Theft Auto. It's just been too long. It's been way too long. We need a new Grand Theft Auto game. We need a new story. We need something new. I get that they have an online community, and I get that they're doing constant DLC or updates or things like that. But it's time. It's time for a new campaign. It's time for a new area. We all know the Grand Theft Auto 5 map like the back of your hand at this point. You know exactly how to get around. You know, wherever you're dropped in the map, you pretty much know exactly where you're at. It feels like your hometown at this point. And Grand Theft Auto 3, 20 years ago, will probably still feel that way if you played it now too. So, I mean, that was a really super popular game. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I mean, it's Tony Hawk is still putting games out. They just re-released Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. What was it, a few months back? And now Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 turns 20. Will they do a Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 re-release? I don't know. maybe. I haven't heard anything about it. I would assume that this would be the year to do it if they're going to do it, since they did the 1 and 2 release back to back. The next game here is Final Fantasy X. Do you remember Final Fantasy X? And then all of a sudden, shortly after Final Fantasy X was released, I want to say probably not even a year or two, Square Enix turned around and released Final Fantasy X2 with, just a female cast, and then they just started spinning like this Charlie's Angels type Final Fantasy game. It was really a little wild because Final Fantasy usually didn't carry over characters, so for them to do that for that one, that was a little bit of a game changer when it came to the Final Fantasy series. It was fun. It was a good game, but not what we were used to. Again, Final Fantasy X, 20 years old. Wow. Twisted Metal Black. That's right, Twisted Metal Black. So the Twisted Metal series, which is the Cars demolition type series, that turns 20 years old. Speaking of cars, Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. Gran Turismo used to be the racing game. It was PlayStation's go-to racing game. I want to say it's been, and again, this may be my opinion, I may be jaded on this, but I want to say Gran Turismo has lost out to Forza. I want to say Forza has surpassed Gran Turismo when Gran Turismo used to be the shit. It was the racing game to end racing games, and now everybody's it's Forza all the way. That's all I hear about. So Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec turns 20 years old this year. The next one on the list here is Silent Hill 2. Now, Silent Hill 2, clearly Silent Hill 2 is 20 years old. Silent Hill 1 is even older. They tried to come out with the Silent Hill movie. It didn't, much like many video games back 20 years ago, they kind of, when they changed into movies, they kind of fell short. They just kind of failed. And we talked about this, I think, on the last episode of Dad Gamers, of video game movies and things that we are never going to see. Rumor is there's another Silent Hill movie coming out. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't dug into it to see if it's true. But going back to racing games, the next one on our list here is Burnout. Now, do you remember Burnout? Remember how great Burnout was? Especially when they had the ability to crash into other cars and it would go into slow motion and break into pieces. I loved it. I thought that was the most amazing thing. But the original Burnout now turns 20 years old. SSX Tricky. See? Not SSX the original. SSX Tricky turns 20 years old. So if that's turning 20, again, SSX is even older. The next one on the list here is Metal Gear Solid 2. Holy crap. I know you're shocked right now. Oh, you dad gamers out there, did I just make you feel super old to tell you that Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, not even the original Metal Gear, the sequel is 20 years old. So that does have a movie in the works on a side note. So we'll see if that one, hopefully that'll be awesome. They won't screw it up. Return to Castle Wolfenstein is another one that is not, that's not even Wolfenstein. That's Return to Castle Wolfenstein is 20 years old. Moving on, Halo, 20 years old. Halo came out back in 2001. So this year marks Halo's 20th anniversary. Holy crap. I don't know what to say. I'm blown away because I don't know what to say because I feel super old just by saying that. I remember I feel like playing like Halo yesterday and going all the way through and staying up all night with my best friend, just like playing and beating the game, beating the campaign, and literally like we finished the game, put the controllers down and watched the sun come up. We played all night. It was amazing. But yeah, 20 years old. So Nintendo's got a couple that are 20 years old. Luigi's Mansion. We've all know that the sequel is out for that, for the Nintendo Switch. Lots of fun. The original, though, for the GameCube, Nintendo's GameCube, turns 20 years old this year. So if you haven't shown that to your kids yet, and they know about the part 2 for Nintendo Switch, maybe this is a good time to crack it open and be like, this is what it was 20 years ago. and show them the original Luigi's Mansion. And of course, the last game, and this circles back around to what we talked about before, Pikmin. So with Pikmin getting an AR game from Niantic on the mobile device, they do their original Pikmin game. The original Pikmin game for the Nintendo GameCube turns 20 years old this year as well. So, holy crap. I mean, if of all those different types of games that are listed, you can imagine, I can imagine you dad gamers out there feel super old right now, and I apologize. But doesn't it feel like in some cases some of those games like Grand Theft Auto 3, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, or even Burnout or any of the Metal Gear Solid 2, it feels like it was just maybe 5 years ago that we played those? And no, it was 20 years ago. Next year, those games will be old enough to drink. Does that make any sense? So it's just mind-blowing. Okay, so to wrap up this episode, though, of the Dad Gamers podcast here, we have to announce congratulations. We have the winner of the $25 Xbox Live code, the gift card code for the month of March. Okay, this is only for the month of March. So as long as you've gone to dadgamerspodcast.com and put your email address in to get into the drawing every month for an Xbox Live gift card, then you're all set to go. You don't have to keep going and keep resubmitting. You only have to submit once. But congratulations goes out to Ed. And I don't know if I'm saying your last name right or not here, Ed, but congratulations to Ed Dietz. I don't want to say if that's right, or it might be it's Dietz. I apologize either way, Ed. You can find Ed on Xbox Live. His gamer tag is Good Poison, and that's Poison with a Z. Good Poison. He is also a member of the Dad Gamers Club on Xbox Live. So thanks for being part of that, Ed, and congratulations. We've already emailed you your Xbox Live code, so make sure you check your email so that you get your $25 code. And hey, let us know on the Dad Gamers what you decided to get with it. Maybe we can all get in there, and if it's a multiplayer game, we can do some damage. All right, dads, I'm already going to start the music here. This is kind of a short episode, but I know right at this point you just kind of feel old, because I've listed off so many of your childhood games. So let's do a quick recap, though. Xbox Live, changing their name to Xbox Network. Check our description here of the podcast for a link to PlayStation Online to get a discount on that. Your PS3, PSP, PS Vita, marketplaces are going away. There's a bunch of mobile games coming out that are going to be great, so keep an eye out for those. Keep an eye out for Amazon's Mario Kart Hot Wheels coming out, and get on our Instagram at Dad Gamers Podcast on Instagram to see the picture for the Mario Kart Hot Wheels, plus some other. I like to post a lot of other funny dad-based type games. You can always check us out. Also, we have a Facebook group, or a Dad Gamers Facebook group on Facebook. You can ask to join that. It is a private group, so check it out. Thanks for listening. This has been Flank on Xbox Live. Your host, Bob Rayhart. You all have a good day, and I'll see you next week.